Faith.
Hi, I had a call.
Everybody's in the kitchen.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Faith. There you are. He's waiting for you.
This is madness. Has he explained anything to you?
Well, just that whoever shot Seneca meant to kill him and is still after him, so he's got to get out of here.
He can't.
Well, he says he has to. Though for the life of me, I can't believe that Frank or Bob couldn't be of some assistance.
Let me see what I can do with him.
Hello.
Don't look like a man with a killer after him.
It's bad enough being on the run. I don't have to miss my lunch as well. Thank you very much for coming. Well, I'll tell you, that almost makes the whole business worthwhile.
I don't understand why you have to go.
Well, for one reason, because he knows about you, Mary, Jack, and the Ryans. And while I'm here, you're all in danger, too.
Oh, Tom, for heaven's sakes. Frank Ryan is an ex-cop and a city councilman. Bob Reed is a New York City detective. All you have to do is say the word and they will bail you.
And I'll be deported.
What?
Faith, I'm an illegal alien. If the police get involved in this, I'll find myself back in Ireland before I know it. And I'm in more danger over there than I am here.
I don't understand any of this.
I know. And that's why I don't want to go away without telling you the whole story. So you will understand that I wouldn't go away from you unless I had to.
And get now.
It's been
To call now.
Come on in. Welcome.
Hi, Ray.
You haven't seen my humble home yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Well, it's a simple life here at the palace, but we like it.
No, I'm sorry I'm late.
You're not. I just got off the phone myself. Come on in. Come on.
It's been a long... Now, that is incredible.
Exactly what do you mean by that, Councilman?
I mean, it's lovely.
About a year after we were married, Bill had it painted and then hung in the apartment in Beekman Place. And it has been the most wonderful ego trip for me ever since. I don't care if it's ostentatious. I don't care if it's nouveau. I don't care if it's downright tacky. I love it.
Well, no one's going to miss whose room it is, that's for sure.
Damn straight. Coffee?
Please. And speaking of the room, I say it's terrific.
Good. I'm glad you like it. You'll be seeing a lot of it. Cream, sugar?
No.
How's everything?
Not so good.
What's wrong?
Someone shot Seneca Bolak last night in the back as he came out of the Coleridge house.
Shot? Shot dead?
Almost.
Who was it?
They don't know.
Frank?
I know. He's lost a lot of blood. And no one's willing to say whether or not he's going to make it. And if he does pull through, there's a good possibility of paralysis. Apparently, the bullet went very close to the spine.
Oh, is he conscious? Does he know what happened?
Apparently so, yeah. Jill's been with him since just after they brought him into the hospital.
Oh, you've seen Miss Coleridge?
Yeah, I went looking for her just after we got back from D.C.
And found her at the hospital?
Yeah,
With Dr. Bolak?
that's right.
Did you have an opportunity to make her understand why you had to miss Edmund's birthday party?
Well, she wasn't in the most receptive frame of mind.
Of course not. She'd have been upset by the shooting.
Well, that was partially the problem, right? That was partially the problem. But I think trying to work out a way of being a father to Edmund is going to be a little more complicated than I had thought it would be.
Frankly, I was surprised that you ever thought it would be anything but complicated.
In the past, Jill and I have managed to keep an extremely complicated relationship going with a combination of honesty, patience, kindness. I still have a tremendous amount of faith in those virtues.
Ah, yes. But you are also in love, at which point it is very easy to be kind and patient and understanding and desperately honest. Seriously. She had to have known you didn't miss that party on purpose.
Oh, yeah, she conceded that much, all right. But she said the incident is a perfect example of our situation in microcosm. Of course I'm interested in Edmund. Of course I'm interested in her. But my real interest is in my career. That's where my priorities are.
And are they?
Well, I don't understand why it has to be either or. Why do I have to choose between the people I love and political activity?
You don't, of course.
Well, not according to Jill.
Do you know what I think is really happening?
What?
I think Jillian is sending you a message and you don't want to get it.
Ray.
Normally, I know, this is none of my business, but I do believe in your potential, Frank. And I think I appreciate what a time of opportunity this is for you, and I appreciate how very important it is for you to use it fully. Now, you have to make the commitment to the effort now, without reservations and without distractions. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, it's up to the people who care about you to make that easier for you, not the other way around.
All right, look, this is basically a personal matter. It is not political. I'm sure there are one or two other things you and I can discuss more constructively.
Wrong on both counts. This is a personal matter which affects you politically. And it's important, and I think you need to know how I feel about you and Miss Coleridge and why. You don't have to tell me, you know? I trust you.
I want to tell you. I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again, and I don't want you wondering. And at this point, since Lima already knows you're a friend of mine, well, the knowledge may protect you a bit.
Oh, Tom, he won't do anything to me.
Actually, I don't think he will. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going or where I am when I get there, because I think that's about what he'd expect. And I'm hoping he'll realize that I'm gone and take some satisfaction in messing up my life here before he goes home again.
It's so unfair.
It is that. His name is Liam Donahue. I was in love with his sister, Teresa.
The girl in Ireland.
She was very young, 17, when we started going out together. She had just left school and was working in her father's office. I was boxing then, writing a little poetry. And when I needed money, I was working on a weekly newspaper where my cousin was printer. But I never had more than the price of a pint in my pocket, so I wasn't what you'd call a red, hot matrimonial prospect.
Teresa's family was wealthy.
Oh, no. No, but they wanted to be. Mr. Donahue owned a mill, mortgaged up to the roof, and spent a lifetime trying to make money. But trying and hard work couldn't substitute for good management. His oldest son, James, was in it with him, too. And the two of them together made a rare mess of it. Anyway, he was approached by a big textile man named Tully about the sale of the mill. And during the negotiations, Tully's son, Dermot, met Teresa. He wanted to marry her. Oh, the Donahues wanted her to marry him, seeing as he was about to inherit, in fact, has inherited several million pounds.
But Teresa wanted to marry you?
As soon as I could get enough money to get her out and away from Limerick and find some place to live anywhere. They refused to allow her to see me. They wouldn't let me see her. But we managed to see each other anyway. So they locked her up. But she agreed to marry Tully, so they let her out. And we would meet at night by Thomond Bridge Gate. Now, I managed to get together about 50 pounds, which was enough to get us over to Dublin where we thought they wouldn't find us. But they caught her on the way. So they locked her up again. She insulted Tully so badly that he told her to go to hell. Her father and her brothers along with her and went back to Donegal. Oh, the old man was furious. And James went wild. One night, he waited for me in a side street and jumped me swinging a bicycle chain, and he half beat me to death. But I managed to get on my feet. I suppose I got a little wild myself. I don't remember all of it. But I killed him.
How?
With my hands. I went on trial, pleaded self-defense, and was acquitted. But the night before the verdict came in, Teresa tried to get away from them. I don't know whether she was coming to try to see me or not. I never found out. But she crawled out of her bedroom window, fell, and died from the fall.
Oh, Tom.
I was released and on my way to the funeral when Liam, Michael, and the old man drove my bicycle off the road. They had me fairly well cornered when the Gardaí, the police, came along and saved my neck. But they promised they'd get me no matter where I went. They wouldn't rest easy till I was dead, and they meant it. They hounded me around Ireland for 2 years and eventually caught up with me in Cork. But I had some money then and a passport in my pocket. And I took a steamer out of Cove, sailing to Charlestown.
And they lost track of you until Jack and Mary went to Limerick.
That's it.
Tom, how long do you keep running?
I'm beginning to wonder. The old man's still alive. And after Liam, there's Michael, and after Michael, there's the youngest Joe. And he's a man now. They could keep me moving for the next 20 years.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't see any other way out. Not in the next 5 minutes.
What can I do to help?
Not much, I think.
Do you have any money?
Yes, I'm going to go to the bank.
Oh, Tom, for heaven's sakes. What about your passport?
It's in my desk at my office.
All right, I'm going to cash you a check and get your
No,
passport.
Faith, look.
Tom, don't argue with me. You cannot go wandering around the streets with that lunatic waiting for you. Now, you wait here. I'll be back in 15 minutes with $1,000 and your passport. Oh, damn it!
What's the matter?
I left my checkbook at home. It's okay. I can buy a check at the bank. Is $1,000 enough?
Oh, it's plenty. Let me write you out
Oh,
a
Tom,
check.
no. Just mail it to me. Now, promise me that you'll stay here and you won't move.
Well, I haven't finished my lunch yet.
Oh, I hate it. There must be some other way.
I wish I knew.
Look, I'll be back as fast as I can.
Thank you.
This week
The
at the Upper Active 885.
A minute and just see if it makes some sense, all right? Now, Jill knows politics. She knows the demands a political campaign can make on a candidate and the people around him. And she knows you, and she knows that if you do anything, you do it 100%. Am I right so far?
Yeah, but
All right. Now, when Jillian Coleridge tells you at the beginning of the most important campaign of your life, we have to come first. My son and I must be your first priority. Either she is asking for the impossible because for the next 8 months the work must come first, or else she wants you to get out of politics. And that is my business. That does affect me because I want you to run for the Senate, and I am offering you my support. And if I don't get a full-time politician for my money, then I've got a right to know that. Now.
you are doing exactly what you've accused Jill of doing. You are making it either or. The Senate campaign or Jill and the baby.
Of course not. Listen, you get elected. Then, if you want to settle in with Miss Coleridge and Edmund and Little John and play hearth and home to your heart's content, so be it. But if you decide to run, between now and November, I want you at my disposal. And I want to know that your family and your friends are not going to be making any conflicting demands on your time and your energy, because I will be investing my time and my energy and my money, and I expect to get as good as I give. Is that quite clear?
Perfectly.
Do you want it,
Of
Frank?
course I want it. I want it a lot. But I have to know it's realistic in every way for me to go after it. And I have to do it without having to walk out on my son.
Your son or Miss Coleridge?
It's a package deal, Ray.
All right, then, you look at that package, my friend. Just look at it. Now, as I understand it, Dr. Bolak and Miss Coleridge for the past 2 years have been involved with each other, romantically and otherwise. Frank, they lived with each other until last week or so. You said it yourself. Right now, she is at that hospital by his bedside. He wants her, Frank. He wants Edmund. And he is free to give her the kind of attention she wants and doubtless deserves. In the past 2 years, she has become accustomed to being his top priority. Now, I don't care how angry she was when she found out that he knew that you had been Edmund's real father. All that time, all that involvement, those 2 years are not going to just disappear overnight. And you, my friend, are talking about jeopardizing a political career for a woman with strong emotional involvement elsewhere who really is not giving you a great deal of encouragement in the first place.
All right, you have said it. I have listened. Now that is enough.
Beg your pardon?
You heard what I said. You may have more political smarts than I have, or anyone else around here, but you don't know Jill and you don't know me as well as you think you do. And when it comes to my personal life, I don't need and I don't want any managers, any advisors, anyone. And if we're going to work together, we had better get that straight right now. If. I have not said I am running for the Senate. And you obviously aren't interested in congressmen or city councilmen, are you, Ray?
One city councilman and for his potential only.
Understood. Now, when and if I accept your endorsement for the senatorial campaign, I will also accept and probably follow your advice on all political matters. However, my personal life is my own. And when my personal and my political concerns merge, I'll make the decisions there, too. Got it?
For now.
No. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. Or you can save me the trouble of making the decision, and you can go out and get yourself another boy.
A few months down the road, you'll change your mind.
If I do, you'll be the first to know.
All right, Frank. All right. You know what I'm counting on?
I wouldn't presume to guess.
I know you a lot better than you realize. In a couple of weeks, Frank, you will want that nomination and then that election so badly, you will be very happy to do it my way. Because I can get it for you.
Next. Where?
We don't quite know all that's going on, Tom, but I feel I might have made the trouble by speaking too freely to that friend who was so curious about your welfare.
The trouble was made long before we met, Kevin. It's not your fault, and don't think about it again. You've been a good friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. I don't know what to tell you. I wish there was some way I could help you.
I know that, John, and thank you very much.
I hope you also know that if something comes up and you need us to lend a hand, that you can count on us.
Well, there is something, Maeve.
Oh, well, tell me.
If you'd write a letter to my mother at this address, tell her that I'm alive and well, and anything else you think she might like to know, and that you're free to write to her because I'm leaving New York, and that I'll drop her a long letter in a day or two. I don't suppose this could cause trouble. Well, they know I'm in the States anyway.
What are you saying? That your mother hasn't known where you are all this time?
Wasn't safe for her or for me.
Oh, dear Lord. Poor woman. I'll write it today.
Thank you for that, and look, thank you for everything else.
Oh, Thomas. You've been like one of our own. You very nearly were one of our own. John over there was that disappointed that he was planning on sending for Siobhan and marrying you off to her.
Were you now, John? Well, that's a lovely plan.
I don't know, I somehow got into my head. You had the ideal qualifications for a son-in-law. I don't know what's the matter with Mary. She's half mad.
No, she made the right choice.
Oh, I love you for that, Thomas. Desmond O'Brien. I only feel bad for Faith. Having you leave this way. I feel bad for both of you.
I'd like to know how Seneca is doing. I'll call next week station to station to find out.
Good.
But I'd like to get out of here as quickly as possible before somebody else gets hurt.
Excuse me, miss. I'm sorry I startled you, didn't I?
You certainly did.
Can you direct me, please? I'm looking for the office of the hospital public relations director, Mr. Thomas Desmond.
Spend breakfast in bed with SoapNet. Sleep in, curl up, and check out with back-to-back episodes of One Tree Hill and Beverly Hills 90210. Breakfast in bed, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday on SoapNet.